22 straight years of brutal drought have just pummeled Lake Mead, one of the largest reservoirs in the whole world. But to paraphrase Mark Twain, reports of its death have been greatly exaggerated. Marina operators at the lake say bad publicity has just crippled their bottom line. But as they tell George Knapp, they're still open for business.
The lake has always been, it's either feast or famine.
Bob Grippentog's family has operated the Lake Mead Marina since 1957 and has learned to roll with nature's punches. In some years, the water level rises. For most of the last 22 years, it has fallen. The massive reservoir is doing what it was created to do, act as a water bank during dry years, though the driest period in 12 centuries has strenuously tested the lake's limits.
This year is definitely special compared to what it has been since the early 60s.
Every drop of 40 feet in the water level creates 1,000 feet of beach in front of the marina. So far this year, the family has had to move the entire operation further out into the lake 8 times. Each move cost around $100 grand, mainly because of the need to extend lines for power, water, sewer, and fuel. The business has always been able to absorb the financial hit because boaters and visitors usually continued to pour in, spend money in the restaurant and store, and launch their boats. But this year is different.
Just the number of folks that come out to Lake Mead internationally wise and visit us has gone down probably 50%.
The reason isn't hard to identify. Media coverage has been relentless. The comparative satellite photos of the shrinking shoreline, stories about bodies found in barrels, the image of a formerly submerged World War II era boat now high and dry, and the implication that the lake is suddenly dangerous because of obstacles lurking just under the waves. All of that information has convinced potential visitors that the lake is shut down.
The months-long onslaught of negative media articles, both nationally and internationally, have created a false impression that Lake Mead has dwindled down to a dead pool mud puddle. But when you're out here on the water and look around, you can see this is still one enormous lake.
Those are the stories that really create us hardships, because people do get the idea that there is no water here. Even at these levels, we have around 500 miles of shoreline. The water where we're at right now is over 100 feet deep. If you get out into the basin area, it'll be 350, even 400 feet deep.
Grippentog says you'd be far more likely to find a dead body four-wheeling in the desert outside of Las Vegas than at the lake, and that the danger of submerged objects is no greater now than any other time. As always, boaters just have to pay attention. It's true that few other marinas, including Colville Bay, have had to temporarily suspend boat launches, but marina services remain open, including the slips that house private watercraft. There are 1,400 of those slips at Lake Mead Marina, where kids still feed swarming fish from the dock, and their parents rent boats to cruise a few miles to check out Hoover Dam. Boat owners usually don't have to wait more than 20 minutes to get their craft into the water, far different from news reports saying it takes 4 hours. The long-term scenario for Lake Mead is challenging because the overextended Colorado River is the most endangered river in the country, as it has been for decades. But for now and into the future, Lake Mead is still a premier watery playground.
We're open for business. We want you to know that Lake Mead is still here.
George Knapp, 8 News Now.